Meet Lily, Siyabonga, Eden, and Ben.
All of them enjoy playing outside beneath the warmth of the sun.
They come from different homes, but this is their favorite playground.
Lily lives with her aunt and uncle.
Siyabonga stays with his gran,
Eden lives at a children's home.
and Ben stays with his dad.
Apart from their playground, they have one more thing in common. Each of them has been exposed to HIV, which means they are all at risk.
Ben's dad has been living with HIV for the past 10 years. Shortly after he was diagnosed, he took Ben to the clinic to get tested. However, he was too afraid to get Ben's results. Ben was relieved when his dad didn't take him back to the clinic. He doesn't like needles, and there were no toys for him to play with when he was waiting to see the nurse.
Ben's dad thought his son would be okay, but he's recently noticed Ben no longer has the energy to play soccer with his friends. Eden moved into a children's home after her mum passed away, where she receives good care, school uniforms and stationery, but HIV testing is not routinely offered as a part of her care package. No one has thought she might need to be on treatment. Eden misses her mom terribly and often wonders what kind of sickness took her mom away from her. Lily looks so much happier living with her aunts and uncles since being removed from her abusive family. Lily sometimes has nightmares about the bad man who hurt her, but she doesn't ever share her fears. Her aunt has seen how isolated Lily is, but she doesn't know how to reach out, nor is she aware of the steps she could be taking to check whether her niece could be infected.
Siyabonga's gran doesn't understand this new disease that has claimed so many of her children.
She is proud of her grandson, who like his late parents is a diligent student.
Siyabonga was given medicine to take every day, but no one will tell him what the pills are for. Now that he is a little older, Siyabonga is angry that no one will tell him the truth. Because of this, he has planned to stop taking the medication someday.
Nurse Thelma is afraid to test any children for HIV because she went through a traumatic experience when her status was disclosed. She has never been trained to counsel children, and whenever she sees their frightened faces or gets asked difficult questions she's expected to know the answers to, she feels helpless and overwhelmed.
In 2002, 57% of sexual assault cases reported were by girls aged 12 to 17.
6.3% of children aged 2 to 18 who have lost their mother to HIV are HIV positive.
12.7% of children aged 2 to 18 who have lost both parents to HIV are HIV positive. Children who are not disclosed to are 3 times more likely not to adhere to treatment than children who know their status.
Single-parent orphans have a 1 in 3 chance of being infected with HIV.
Double orphans are most at risk when it comes to HIV infection.
So we know all these vulnerable children are out there, but how do we narrow down our search among all the playgrounds, schools and homes to find them?
And when we find them, how do we shape their stories to bring hope and life in an environment of fear and stigma? The International Convention of Children's Rights states that each of these children has fundamental human right to access care and treatment.
Where do we begin?
KidzAlive is a program developed to find and test children with undiagnosed HIV within communities and their clinics.
Make sure they are put on treatment if they need it.
Assist with disclosure and help them stay well. It is a program filled with vibrant characters, pertinent stories and fun activities for children.
This is the process.
KidzAlive made contact with Nurse Thelma and her colleagues. They received training, giving them skills as well as child-friendly tools to help them navigate the sensitive journey of testing, diagnosis, disclosure, and further treatment for the child. They were taught how to speak to children in the language that they understand in a non-threatening environment, ensuring that the child's rights are constantly protected. Nurse Thelma contacted caregivers who had untested and untreated children. Word got out that a community support group had been put in place for families of children before and after testing.
After a few sessions, Siyabonga's gran finally understood this disease, and she knew there was no reason why her grandson wouldn't be able to live a long and healthy life, one day fulfilling his dream of becoming a doctor, fully aware and living positively with his disease.
Ben's dad was relieved to find other single parents struggling with the same fears of discrimination,
and felt hopeful for the first time since his wife passed away.
Lily's aunt discovered there were measures they could still take to find out whether or not her niece had been infected. The community clinic was given material to brighten up the areas where children are seen, counseled, and treated. To prepare the children, the trained healthcare workers took KidzAlive activities into the community so that the children would already be familiar with the fun characters.
When Ben went back to the clinic, he was frightened until he recognized the KidzAlive poster that he'd already seen at the after-school program with his friends.
Lily and Siyabonga were also there, and they got to play, color in, and learn about the adventures of a friendly frog and his animal friends. Eden lives too far from the clinic, so she was delighted when the KidzAlive team visited the children's home with all their colorful books and stories. Now she could tell her friend Ben that Nurse Thelma also taught her how to be healthy, happy, and strong.
Since KidzAlive has been introduced into clinics and communities, there's been an increase in
primary caregiver willingness to bring children in for testing,
decrease in their fear and anxiety,
increase in
access to child-friendly facilities,
skilled healthcare workers
who have confidence to provide age-appropriate, child-centered testing and disclosure support.
Now all children who are at risk have the opportunity to access treatment and care.
Parents and caregivers now have support, answers to their questions,
and child-friendly language to use when explaining things to their children.
And like Ben,
Lily,
Eden,
and Siyabonga,
our valuable children can now be assured
that the world they're living in
has the greatest potential to be a place
where hope resides,
life endures,
and dreams are fulfilled.